I'm going to take a few moments here and show you how to create a corridor in Business Center Heavy Construction Edition. And what's unique about this corridor is that I'm going to have a ditch on both sides of the road, and they have to match a profile that's been designed in this profile view that you see in my top plan view. So what I have is I brought in a CAD file, and that CAD file gives me my CAD line work, and it also brought in the profile that's going to show me the vertical information for not only my center line of my road, but also my left and right ditches. So you can see here I've got a ditch grade on the left and a ditch grade on the right that follow the road or go down the length of the road linearly, but they have different elevations. So I need to tie the ditches into those road or ditch profiles. So to start with, you have to define the centerline alignment for the road as well as the vertical profile. Now I've already gone and done that simply by taking the existing polyline that was the road, and I created the alignment from it. So I came in here and just selected that line and created the alignment. I also took that alignment once I have the horizontal alignment, and if we go in and look at the properties of it and edit it, you'll see that it's got my horizontal information, and then I went to the vertical tab, created in a vertical alignment, and plugged in the vertical information from the profile that is shown below my plan view here. So that's what you're seeing up in here. So now to actually build the corridor that since we have that vertical and horizontal alignment, I'm going to go to create corridor. I'm going to come in here, I'm just going to we'll call it Moosehead Road. I'm going to use that horizontal alignment and vertical profile. We'll go ahead and tell it what the existing ground is, and I'll reference the existing ground, and we'll click OK. We're going to start not at the beginning of the alignment, but I'm going to start right where the returns are. So we're going to build the corridor, or the cul-de-sac. We'll build that with some line strings and some other properties. We're going to go ahead and we'll call it new, or we'll call it full typical. That'll be our typical name for our section here. Now for the instructions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to a previous group. Let's go ahead and split that on the side. We'll actually move this to the previous tab as well, and we'll split that horizontally just so you can see what's happening here in my profile, or in my plan here. So over here is my section view. I'm going to come in, I'm going to start putting in my instructions. Now I have a typical section here, and in this typical section you can see I've got 10-foot lanes, I've got some shoulder gravel, I've got some grass shoulders, but then this is where my ditch gets interesting, where I got to tie into my profile. So you can see it varies accordingly. So I got to have a 2-to-1 slope on both sides, a 2-foot ditch, but the location is going to vary based on the elevation at those ditches. So I'm just going to move this guy over here to the side, get him out of the way, and we'll go ahead and we'll drop in the typical templates here, or the instructions. So I'm going to start with an offset and slope. And we're going to start at my beginning, or my center line of road. We'll offset it to the right 10 feet, and we'll go down to negative 2.5%. And we'll just call that EP, and we'll define it as lane edge. We'll click add. So I'm going to add that one section. You can see that my surface is automatically starting to be built. I'm then going to add in another offset and slope from the edge of pavement. This time I'm going to go over 2 feet, and I'm going to go down negative 5%. And we'll just call that edge of gravel, right? It could be my edge of gravel shoulder, so maybe EGS or something. We'll add that. We'll do one more to get the grass shoulder. So coming from here, we're going to go over 3 feet, and we'll go out a negative 5% as well, and we'll call that shoulder. Okay. Then I'm going to mirror this to the other side. So we'll go ahead and mirror it over. And then I'm going to add in another instruction type. Now this instruction type is going to be slope elevation. So I'm going to go from the shoulder point, number 4, which is right here. And I'm going to go down a negative 2-to-1. And my elevation is going to come from a table. So I'm going to go elevation table. And I'm going to click on the ellipse button here. And you see this table allows me to plug in a station and elevation. So I'm going to go back over to my profile, and I could look at a PDF file to do this as well, but because I have it in the CAD, I can zoom in it's right here. I don't have to switch views. So my PI for my right station and elevation for the right ditch profile starts right here. So I'm going to put in the station of 150 and or 100 plus 50, and we'll put a 229 or 229 elevation, and we'll go to the next one. So I'm going to follow that down. I'm going to look for my next PVI, which is right here. Okay, so there's my right. I'm going to put in a 106.00, 226.20. Then we'll zoom out and we'll follow this ditch down. I have another one here. It looks like a high point in my ditch. So I'm going to go 110.00, and you could pick this actually from the drawing. So if you didn't have the profile but wanted to match a station and elevation for maybe a culvert crossing, you could actually pick this station and elevation from your drawing. You see I'm rubber banding off of my alignment here, so I can actually pick that information right from the plan view. So my next elevation point here is going to be 111.00, elevation at 227. And come down, we got a couple more. We got another low point, another break point here, probably another crossing, and 225.5. And then we're going to end it at 113.30. Oops. And 227. Alright, so we've put that information in. So station and elevation along the road. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to add that to my typical template. So you can see it's going down. And if I move this guy, you can see it's going to stretch out based on the slope and elevation that I'm trying to match. Okay. Now to finish this, I need to put the ditch in and tie back in. So I'm going to use a side slope instruction, and we're going to come from that 0.6. I'm going to target my existing ground, and we're just going to go a 2-to-1 2-foot ditch and a 2-to-1 in fill. And we'll just call it daylight, and we'll add that. Now I'm going to make an adjustment here. I'm just going to come back and give this a name. We'll call it inside ditch, so when I go to stake this out, it'll make it easy for me to identify. So we'll save that. So there's my ditch, and as I move up and down, you can see it's tying into that ground over there. Now we need to do the other side, and it's going to just basically follow that same process. So I'm going to add another instruction, and that instruction is going to be a slope elevation. We're going to go from 0.9. So to do that, we just got to pick down here. We're going to go from that point of 9, and same thing, we're going to go -2-to-1 slope, and we're doing an elevation table. So we'll start with the stationing at the beginning here. So our station is going to be 115. Our elevation is going to be 228.5. So that's our first left point. We'll come over, here's another one. So 104.00, 227.20. And we'll work our way over. Another left here of 106 and 226.3. That's our left. Let's work our way down. Another one here, 1100 and 227.70. And that's a right. There's another left at 112. 225.60. Again, this is nice because our plans actually have good data and makes it easy to do. 113.95, 227.50. Like I said, you could pick this from the plan view as well. So we're gonna do that, and we'll call this inside ditch as well, and we'll add that particular one. Then we'll add the last instruction for another side slope. we're going to target our, let's pick our last point there, which is number 10. We're going to target our existing ground surface. We'll do a cut slope of 2, 2-foot ditch, and a fill slope of 2. And we'll just call this daylight as well. And we'll add that. And there's my road. And as I scroll and move down the road, you can see my ditch is going to change and adjust accordingly based off of those station elevations in my table. So we're going to take a look at this in 3D view. You can see I've got a nice road. I can come in and increase my sampling or my densification simply by going to the properties, up to densification, and now I've got a nice smooth road that I can use to grade using my machine or stake out using my rovers. We hope you find this helpful. If you have any more information or want to learn more about Business Center Heavy Construction Edition, contact your local SciTech dealer.